Welcome back to Lawn Chat with Lawnpro, and this week we'll be talking about fertilization. Fertilization is the process where essential plant nutrients are applied as part of your maintenance plan. Now, if you look at a plant, there are 13 elements that any plant or lawn may require. These elements include nitrogen, phosphates, potassium, boron, sulfur, magnesium, molybdenum, manganese, iron, zinc, copper, and I'll list all of them on the video next to me as soon as we're done. But today I don't want to focus on all of these elements because we can go on and on for hours on what they all do and what their benefits are. Today I purely want to concentrate on the three macro elements, namely nitrogen, phosphates, and potassium. So let's look at nitrogen first. Nitrogen is the mineral nutrient that is mostly required by lawns, as it is an essential component of chlorophyll, proteins, amino acids, and other plant essentials. One should, however, be very careful when picking a high nitrogen fertilizer, as too much nitrogen can lead to excessive leaf growth, poor root development, and poor lateral shoot growth. Applying a lot of nitrogen can also lead to intolerance to heat stresses, cold stresses. It will also make the lawn a lot more susceptible to diseases and other external environmental elements. So be careful. Choose the right fertilizer with the correct blend of nitrogen and do not over apply nitrogen at any stage. Next up we have phosphates. Now, phosphates are essential to transfer energy throughout the lawn or the plant system. However, phosphates are immobile in the soil, and it is therefore not recommended to apply a fertilizer with a high phosphate content. Lawnpro, for example, will only concentrate on phosphate during the cooler winter months. Then we have potassium. Second to nitrogen, potassium is the most required element to lawns. It helps the lawn to cope better with outside elements, like for example heat and cold and diseases, everything that is beyond your control. Now, potassium leaches quicker than, for example, phosphates. So a continuous application of potassium may be required, but you need to get the balance right between your potassium and your nitrogen applications. The important thing to remember is that you need 2 parts of nitrogen for every 1 part of potassium in your fertilizer blend. You can then apply phosphates at lower dosages during the spring, autumn and summer months, with a little bit of higher application during the winter months, depending on your soil conditions. However, what you must understand is that your lawn will not be able to utilize all the fertilizers that you apply. As a general rule, your lawn will only be able to utilize 50% of all nitrogen that you apply in your fertilizer blend. But this is where Lawnpro holds the key. Every time that Lawnpro applies a fertilizer, they will also apply a soil enhancer and microorganism to the soil. Now, this microorganism will feed on the fertilizer and then excrete it. That fertilizer will then be in a more usable format for the plant itself. Instead of using the 50% as previously mentioned, we will now be able to use up to 90% of the fertilizers that we apply. This will also place the lawn under a lot less stress than what we would normally do when we apply fertilizer. What also makes Lawnpro's fertilizers so unique is that we look at long-term weather forecasts. So we will blend our own mix to suit your garden as well as the specific season. Now, we use organic as well as anorganic material when we're blending our fertilizers. The anorganic components in our fertilizers are microencapsulated. What that means is that the fertilizers are released over a long period of time, but it will also reduce the stress that you place on the lawn. So before you just go out and buy the first fertilizer that you see with a nice photograph on the bag or the box, consider that fertilizer will be the most expensive part of your maintenance plan. Lawnpro seasonal maintenance packages include a comprehensive fertilizer program that will suit every garden and every season. There's not a single fertilizer out there that will even closely compare to what Lawnpro has to offer. And if you get Lawnpro to give you a quote, you'll be pleasantly surprised that the entire Lawnpro seasonal maintenance package will cost you less than what only the fertilizer would cost you if you had to apply it yourself. So contact us today by simply clicking on the Contact Us button on our Facebook page. We will send a Lawnpro representative to your property to do a free 14-point lawn analysis and to prescribe a good quality fertilizer program. Next week we'll be looking at insects, their feeding patterns, and what to look out for. We will see you then.